Hey y'all, it's Katie. Welcome back to From My Vanity and welcome to a Answering Your Assumptions video. I did one of these not too long ago. I included it in a video collab that I did with Annette's Makeup Corner, and I just had a couple questions that I got asked on Instagram, so I answered them while doing my makeup for that video. But I do have a little bit more time to do a fun video like this, so I was like, you know what, let me ask again and just see if there are enough questions for an entire video. And I did get quite a few questions. I asked on Instagram, Twitter, and also my YouTube community tab, so I have them all screenshotted and saved onto my phone. So let's just go ahead and go through them and answer all your assumptions. Okay, so we're gonna go to Twitter first. I only got one response on that tweet I put out, and it was from Joe_V80. She is a longtime follower of mine, subscriber here of mine on YouTube, so thank you so much for your support. I always love seeing your comments. She said, I assume you were really smart in school and at the top of your class. No. That was very sweet of you to assume that, but no. I was not very good when it came to school. I mean, I got by, I graduated, I went on and got my AA, and I was really happy that when I did go and get my AA, I think I got A's in all my classes except one. I got a B, I think it was in biology, but that was doing like all the extra work, everything that I could to like bring up my grades whenever I couldn't, and I studied my butt off trying to get those grades, so I was happy that I was able to keep my GPA up, but it took a lot of hard work. It does not come easy for me. And no, I was not the smart one in school. I was homeschooled, if you didn't know. So I had my own siblings as competition, and my older sister was by far the smart one in the family. Okay, so then moving over to Instagram, we'll move on to Instagram. I had Nana's Cleaning, I love that username. She asked, you are a very outgoing person and you don't like house pets. So there's two assumptions. I'm not very outgoing. Like, I can put on a facade. I don't want to say that because that sounds terrible, but I can try and be outgoing. And if I am out amongst a group of people, like, I do try my best, but at the same time, like, I would be super content to just like sit in a chair in the corner, not talking to anyone and just observing or doing my own thing. Like, I am very much more of an introvert, but if need be, if I must, I can try and get out of my shell and, you know, converse with people and whatnot. And I like to think that I don't come across as like super shy. I don't know, I probably do, but in my head and my personal goal is to try to not come across that way, and I try to, you know, engage people, ask questions, be able to carry on a conversation and stuff like that. So I try my best, but I don't consider myself a very outgoing person. And then, do you like house pets? No. I mean, when I was a kid, I imagined my house being full of like pets and all that, but the older I get, the more I realize and just think about like how much work pets are. And right now I am putting all that work into my children. We had dogs growing up, we had chickens growing up, we had cats. I had a fish growing up, a couple fish growing up, betta fish I really enjoyed. What other kind of animals did we have? But I don't know, I don't foresee myself getting a house pet. I think part of me would like to do a seeing eye dog, like raise one. We did that when I was probably around 8, 9, or 10. I can't even remember, but my older brother kind of took responsibility and raised the seeing eye dog, but we all helped out and whatnot. But I just remember that being a lot of fun, and it was kind of neat to have a puppy. It made us realize how much work a puppy was, and then after a year, like, they went on to find a new owner to help and be a seeing-eye dog for. So we didn't have the dog forever. It was just like a 1-year stint or whatever, and I thought that was really enjoyable. So I think that would be kind of my first step before ever considering getting a permanent addition to our family to like be with us until they die. So yeah, I'm not crazy about the idea of getting any house pets, but I do know my husband would like a dog because he's always wanted a dog ever since he was a kid. So who knows? We may get one. The beauty reviewer.yt said, I assume you like the egg. I was trying to think when she posted this, I was like, what, the egg? Like, do I like eggs? I like eggs, but when I posted this, it was like the day or the day after Nikita Dragon announced her brand and like the products she was launching with, and both of her products you can buy like in an egg. So I think that's what she's talking about, and not really. I'm not someone super big on packaging just because I don't like having a lot of useless clutter around. Like, I'd rather the packaging be a palette, because then at least like the palette has purpose. I can do my eyes with it, but it also looks pretty. For me with the egg, like, it's just an egg. Like, there's no purpose to it. I could easily throw that out and keep the two products. So it just doesn't make sense to me. I'm probably the worst PR receiver in like the whole beauty industry because I get these beautiful, gorgeous, stunning PR boxes, but if I can't repurpose it in some way in my life, in my house, it goes to the recycle, because I'm just not going to sit around here with a bunch of pretty boxes cluttering up my life. I just don't want it. So yeah, I wasn't too crazy about the egg because it's nothing that I would ever want to have, because I just don't want a glittery egg sitting on my desk. Like, M2A 2011 said, "You're such a sweetheart on and off camera." I like to think I'm a sweetheart on camera, and I like to think that I try to be a sweetheart on camera, but girl, I have some rough days, and I feel like right now I'm going through such a rough period, and I know it's due to the fact that, you guys know, I've said before, my husband's going through residency radiology. He's been doing it for 4 years, and we had our first child, 6 months into him starting the program. So I have been doing a lot of the raising and caring for the children by myself, just me over here. And I've been able to kind of handle it pretty well the past 3.5, we're nearing 4 years, but I've been able to handle it pretty well. But ever since like the number 2 kind of hit and having Gideon and then Olivia as well, and not even right when it hit, because yeah, when he came it was pretty tough, but now that he's like more mobile and starting to communicate and stuff like that, starting to walk around, having to by myself without a husband, it's been pretty tough, and I can totally tell that the 4 years of residency is so wearing on me, and I'm just like trying to keep my eyes on the finish line for the summer. We're almost there, and you know how no matter what, like whenever you're almost done, it's like the longest time is that those few moments or months or whatever the case is, just before you're done. It feels like an eternity, and I am in that right now, like I just want to be done, but we have a couple more months to go. But anyway, where was I going with this? I don't consider myself a sweetheart. I mean, I try to be sweet, and especially when like outside my family, people I'm friends with and people I run into, I do think that I come across as someone who is just very sweet. Like I don't like to ruffle feathers. I don't like to make a scene. Like even going to the grocery store and ordering, and buying things, or going to a restaurant and order things. Like if something messes up, like I never try to make a big deal about it, because everyone makes mistakes. I don't want anyone to feel bad, that kind of thing. But girl, at home, I have to ask for forgiveness a lot, and even from my children, which is the hardest thing. Oh my gosh, when you have kids, having to like explain your faults to them, it's very humbling. And I think too, something that's been like combining with that is that I have a shorter temper when I have less sleep. And so recently, the past 2, 3, 4 months, Gideon's been going through a really bad like sleep regression phase where he's waking up multiple times at night. I'm not going to bed till late. I tend to wake up early, so I've just been so sleep deprived recently that doesn't make it any better. So yeah, I'm just kind of spilling the beans on what a horrible person I can be at home. But yeah, I am a perfectly imperfect person. Madison's Glam Gloss said, "How do you balance being a mom and creating content for YouTube?" Very interestingly. Now, I feel like I have something of a leg up on most moms who are out there and doing YouTube because, like I said, husband's in radiology, so I really don't have a husband half the time or more than half the time. So a lot of times at night, instead of like hanging out with my husband, he's either reading or sleeping because he has to get up at an insanely early time the next morning, and I'm by myself. So I use the evenings after I put the kids to bed and after I clean up the house. I have the evenings basically to myself so I can edit. So I definitely just take advantage of that. I'm not someone who tends to watch movies, watch TV shows, just be idle. Like even when I am watching a movie, like a YouTube video, I have it on while I'm editing something. I try to always dual it when I do watch a movie, so I'm never just kind of like sitting on the couch watching a movie, if that makes sense. So I feel like that definitely helps me have more time on my hands, because literally when I say I have free time, I do YouTube. Every free moment that I have at all during my day, I do YouTube. Like I don't really do much else with my time except YouTube. So that definitely helps. And then for filming wise, I have to use natural lighting, so I do it in the middle of the day, and I just put my son to bed. My daughter's been asleep for about 40 minutes, and I have about a 45 to an hour window before one or both of them wake up, and I just have to jump on it and go. So I definitely try to make sure I'm using my time wisely as far as recording, keeping track of how long I'm taking to record something, and trying to make sure I complete a video between the 30-45 minute mark so that I can get a video done and recorded before they wake up. I've been playing around with trying to have Gideon in the room with me while I record, and that worked for a little bit, but now he's becoming a little more, I think he's just a little more interactive. So when I'm sitting here talking, he kind of thinks I'm talking to him, so then he wants to come over and hang out with me. So it hasn't been working too well the past couple of videos that I've recorded, so I think I'm gonna have to switch back to just waiting till he's sleeping to record, and that'll just leave my evenings for editing. But yeah, honestly, that's how I do it. I wake up in the morning, and usually I have maybe 30 to 40 minutes in the morning, and I edit while I have my coffee. Then the kids wake up and I am with the kids, I'll usually try to do like social media stuff whenever the kids are like busy playing with themselves and I have the time. And then nap time I record, or if I really need to get a video edited, I'll edit instead of recording. And then at nighttime I'll record until like I'm about to fall over asleep kind of thing. And then I go to bed and start the whole process the next morning. So that's how I do it. Liz, and that's like 3 Z's, .1 says, you love cats and that's why your IG name is Lady Cat. No, so my IG name is Lady Katie with a Y, and my actual like official on my birth certificate name is Katie, spelled with K-A-T-I-E. But I put it with a Y because when I made my Instagram account, I was like, Lady Katie rhymes, I think it's cute. But Lady, L-A-D-Y, and K-A-T-I-E, it doesn't look as cute, so I spelled it with a Y, and that's why I have Lady Katie, and 92 for the year I was born. I know, super creative now that you know the reason behind my name, but that's literally why I named it. And love cats, not as much anymore. I used to really love cats and really want a cat. We only ever had outside cats growing up because we had, you know, animals and stuff like that, and they were good for mice and whatnot, getting them out of the chicken coop. But I always wanted a cat inside, and it's funny, my husband had cats indoors. They were like indoor-outdoor cats all growing up, and all he ever wanted was a dog. And anyway, that's funny how that works. But I don't know, I like cats. I wouldn't say I love them at this point in my life, but I like them. Avid Reader 19 said, I assume that you've never colored your hair. That is correct. I somehow made it through cosmetology school without ever having anyone color my hair. I was kind of like, and still to this day, I'm like, I like my hair color. I think it's like an interesting color. It's kind of like got a two-tone look to it because like some pieces are darker than others, so it kind of has that naturally highlighted look. And you always hear about people who start coloring their hair and then their hair is never the same, or it just gets very damaged and it takes a long time to correct it and whatnot. And I'm someone who just doesn't like to mess with my hair either that much. Like I don't like to do a lot with my hair. So the thought of spending a couple hours in a salon every couple weeks and then having to maintain it and try to, you know, help correct the damage that I'm doing to it, it was just never worth it to me. So I was always like, no, I'm good. I don't want to color my hair. Maybe I'll color it when I start getting gray hair. That was kind of my thinking, and I still kind of stick to that. Maybe I'll start coloring it when I start getting gray hair, which I just found my first gray hair the other day. I blame that on radiology residency. But anyway, who knows? Maybe I'll start coloring it as I get more and more gray hair. But I'm also kind of like, I still don't want to spend that much time in a salon, or that much time even if I did it at home by myself, which I'd be terrified to do it at home. That doesn't sound fun or appealing to me. So I don't know. It's just a lot of time that I don't really care to spend on my hair. So that's mainly why I've never colored it. I'm totally going to butcher this, but I think it's Najam_AIN. I'm putting them on the screen, I believe, right here. But anyway, she said, how do you manage your time with kids? And here also, kind of the same question as asked before. Thank you so much for asking a question. She's always very active on my Instagram, on YouTube, and I always like to see her username. But anyway, yeah, I manage it very carefully. Like, I'm very careful with my time. I try never to waste time doing something idle. Like, I don't have any games on my phone. I don't, like I said, I don't watch movies, like sit down on the couch, watch a movie. Every now and then I'll watch a movie on my phone, but usually it's while cooking dinner, while editing pictures, doing something like that. So I'm kind of dual doing it, so I can actually watch a movie every now and then, but I'm not just sitting there doing nothing but watching a movie. If I have to, you know, fold a bunch of clothes, then maybe I'll watch a movie, but at least I'm doing 2 different things at once. So it's definitely a lot of time management and trying to make sure I'm never wasting time in any way. So yeah, that's honestly the biggest tip that I have, is that I don't, not that I don't have free time, because I do have free time, but any free time that I have, I use it to do YouTube. Ray Anyo says, you speak Portuguese. I wish. My mom can understand it. She can kind of speak it. My grandmother and grandfather speak Portuguese fluently, and they would always frustrate us so much growing up because they would be at the table talking to themselves in Portuguese with my mom because she could understand it, and we'd be like, wait, what's grandma say? What's grandpa saying? Are they talking about us? But that was my childhood growing up. I always loved that. But no, I did not learn Portuguese. I learned a little bit, like the colors, the numbers, boy, girl, that kind of thing, but I never learned it well enough to speak it to any length. And she has 3 A's, Melly, M-U-E, says, you always dedicate yourself and everything you do 100%. Totally, definitely. Like if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna try to do it to the best of my ability and I try to make everything work. Like, doesn't matter how crazy my life is or how like, you know, hectic the kids are right now or like they're sick and they're needing a lot of time. I still try to like upkeep and, you know, keep to my consistent schedule on YouTube because, and it's not even like pressure you guys put, because you guys do never put any pressure on me to upload more, upload less, upload consistently, anything like that. You guys are always awesome, but that's pressure I put to myself because I want to post more, so I try to stick to those, you know, consistent schedules just because I have so much content I want to put out. So even if the life, like my personal life is crazy, I still try to stick to my usual schedule. And yeah, if I really like have a heart or have a drive, a fire to do something, I'm like all in, let's do it. And then I think last up for Instagram was Sweet Stuff Sam said, you don't like to wear fake lashes. I get it, they're annoying, but also enhance your look. Yeah, I do. I don't like to wear false lashes, but yes, I can totally see that they enhance the look. I have false lashes on today, and they are magnetic lashes. I'm using the Moxie liner with Kiss magnetic lashes, and this is like my jam because I don't feel them right now. And that's amazing, and I don't have the corners, like the inner corners popping up, which is honestly my biggest pet peeve with traditional false lashes, because no matter how much I try, the corners or like the inner corners always pop up, and it's so annoying. And that's one of the biggest reasons that I don't like wearing false lashes, because I can never wear them more than like an hour or two, and I just don't get the point. Like, you guys know, I sit down and do my makeup at like 9 in the morning. And I want it to still look good when I take my makeup off at night. I'm not someone to come back and like fiddle with my makeup. I'm not someone to just like wear lashes for a couple hours. Like if I'm gonna put them on, I wanna wear them the whole day. And I just typically can't do that with traditional lashes. And yeah, they can enhance a look, but I'm also the person to like do a super dramatic look and just have my natural lashes. So I don't know, they're fun. They are fun. I will totally give them that. It's fun to kind of enhance your look with some added oomph. Okay, so that was all on Instagram. I hope I did not miss anyone, but I am going to go on over to my community tab on YouTube. Oh, and there's 8. I'm pretty sure like the other day when I checked there was 7, so someone just popped in a question just in time. Okay, let's see. Mary, M-E-R-E Blue said, you are very tall. I'm not. I am actually, I think, 5'2". So I was 5'2" when I was like 14 years old. I had scoliosis surgery. If you didn't know, I had to correct scoliosis. I don't even know what the surgery is called. But anyway, they measured me after I was out of surgery then. And I really haven't grown that much since, partly due to the fact that nearly my entire back is fused into one big old bone. But that was like the last time I officially took my measurement, and I had to take a checkup. I was 5'2", so that's the last time I've actually kind of checked my height. But it seems pretty accurate. That's what's on my license, so yeah, 5'2". Jamie Fetch-Mueller said, I assume that you've always been super creative because your eye looks are always so fun and colorful. I try to be creative, but I feel like my creativity is just kind of like playing with color and just having fun with my makeup, but actually like being creative with like different types of looks and different types of ways to like do your makeup or whatnot, I'm not very creative. I tried my hand at like drawing and color and stuff like that, and I just feel like I'm not very good at it. I enjoy doing it, but I'm not good at it. So I don't know what kind of creative that makes me, but a failed creative? I don't know. I like to try to be creative, but I definitely don't think I am that creative. Like there's some makeup artists out there who do eye looks that are just so talented, and me, I struggle to get a good, you know, a good blend on my eyeshadow. That's me in a day. Nini Marie said that you are a stay-at-home mom, new subscriber, don't know much about you yet. Your eye looks are gorgeous. Aw, thank you and welcome. Thank you so much for commenting. Yes, I am a stay-at-home mom. I've actually been blessed in that I've actually never had a job, an official job ever, because I went straight from living with my parents and just getting out of college to get, you know, getting my AA, and then I went on to get my cosmetology license, and I went straight from there. Like a couple months after I got my license, I married my husband and we moved out to California, where I couldn't use my license because I was only licensed in Florida. So I went out there, and we were only gonna be there a year, so I wasn't gonna get licensed out there because you'd have to go like for more schooling and stuff like that, and I was just like, I'm done. So anyway, I went out there, was just a stay-at-home wife at that point. Then I got pregnant it was a little under a year after getting married, because I remember being on my first anniversary, sick as a dog. Oh, good memories. But anyway, I got pregnant, and then we moved to Virginia and had a baby, and I have been a stay-at-home mommy ever since, and I love it. Angela De Silva. Ooh, that's a cool last name. De Silva? I I feel like I butchered it. Said, your husband is Asian and makes a lot of money and you can buy whatever makeup and clothes you want. He spoils you and the baby. So a couple of assumptions there. Your husband is Asian. Yes, that's correct. He's from Korea. He makes a lot of money. He's a doctor. So I feel like there's that. He makes a good bit of money, but you pay for it dearly, as I was talking about earlier, and not having a husband. You can buy whatever makeup and clothes you want. He spoils you and the baby. He totally spoils me. Like, I am so very blessed in my husband. He is so incredibly sweet. But we're an odd couple in that, like, neither of us like a lot of things. Like, we're not big into things. I'm not someone who has like a lot of clothes. I'm not someone into purses. I'm not someone into shoes. Like, we kind of just have the bare necessity. I have a lot compared to my husband, you know, that he actually wears, but I'm not super into that. Like, I just have one purse, and then when that one dies because I've worn it so much, I go out and repurchase something at Ross, and just that's good enough for me. I'm not into name brand in that way. So I feel like in that respect, like, we're not too much into like things and like treating ourselves. So when I say he spoils me, it's more of like in, you know, just what he is able to and what I enjoy. So like, I needed a new phone and he got me a really nice phone, which I am so very blessed and thankful for, because it can take such awesome pictures. And I have so much storage now, because my old phone had like 16 gig and I was forever having to delete photos and delete apps because I didn't have enough storage. So he got me like, you know, a lot of storage on my phone. So he definitely does spoil me. But as for makeup and stuff like that, actually I buy all of that with the money that I make for my blog and YouTube. I'm always very strict on that. It's like, you know, I don't need more makeup. So if I can't pay for it with what I make in my blog and what I make on my YouTube channel, I don't need it. And that was something I just kind of set for myself. It wasn't something we had to sit down and my husband go like, okay, Katie, intervention time with the makeup. That's just something I think is practical and makes sense to me. Like, I do this, I do my blog and my YouTube because I enjoy makeup. So whatever money I'm able to get out of it, I'm going to put it right back into buying more makeup or buying more supplies, you know, that kind of thing, more, you know, stuff to film, edit, whatnot, lighting, that kind of thing. That's kind of what I put the money into. So no, he doesn't buy me whatever makeup I want. And actually, I don't think he's ever bought me any makeup. I'm trying to think. Maybe that's weird, but that's just kind of my thinking. Whenever I think he's like, what do you need? You know, what do you want? I never mention makeup because I have plenty and I'm able to buy it if I want more. And if I can't buy it because I don't have any budget for that month, I'm okay. So yeah, I think I answered all those assumptions. He is, yeah, Korean. He's an amazing husband. He takes such good care of us and I love him very much, but he doesn't buy me makeup. Karen League asked, you're very religious. That's a good thing. Yes, I am. I am a Christian. I've mentioned it on here before. If you're a Christian as well and you're curious, I am like a Reformed Southern Baptist. That's kind of the denomination that we kind of hold to and follow. But when you get down to the nitty-gritty, we just kind of follow what the Bible says and kind of get our answers to life, our counsel for life, and our, you know, direction for life from what the scriptures say. So yes, I am very religious. God is the center of my life and means a whole lot to me. And yeah. Sarah Hariji, oh, I'm sure I butchered that. I'm sorry. She comments all the time. So sweet. It's more of a question, but after moving from where you are from and working from home and taking care of your family, how do you make friends and do you get to make time to be with them? I'm terrible at this because I'm such a homebody and I'm such an introvert that I'm like, I'm fine in the house by myself all week long doing my own thing, but I do try to make time and make an effort to reach out. For me personally, kind of going off of my last questions, we have a home church here that we are members of and go to every week, and that's honestly where I've made the most connections being here in Virginia. And every time we move, whenever we, you know, move to the new location, the first thing we search out is a church to attend. And honestly, that's where a lot of my friends come from because they share the same beliefs as me, they share the same convictions as me. But yeah, that would be my biggest recommendation if you are a Christian, is to find a really solid church, and that's honestly how I do it. I have a couple friends outside of that I either met at the library, I met because our husbands work together, that kind of thing, but most of it comes from the local church that we go to, and I just try to make time. It can be hard with the kids. I'm someone who likes to stick to, not a strict, but I like to have a good sleep schedule for my kids, and I don't like to throw them off of it too much because I just find that when kids are thrown off of their good sleep schedule, they behave a lot worse. So for me, I'm like, I'm not gonna make my kids behave worse. Like, we're gonna get our naps in, we're gonna get our full night's sleep kind of thing. So whenever I do kind of meet up with people, I do try to plan it between those hours so that I can still get home and get them to sleep, which can be tricky if they live far away, but I've been kind of doing it ever since we lived here. So yeah, I don't know if that answers your question because I don't know if you are a Christian or not. The beauty reviewer said, I assume that you find it difficult to be a mom, wife, and a YouTuber. It's a little difficult, but it just keeps me busy, so I don't find it impossible. Like, it's definitely difficult, like, if the kids are sick or if we just have a lot going on all of a sudden. It's difficult to try to, like, balance all that with the normal YouTube schedule, but on a normal week, on a normal schedule, I feel like I'm able to kind of have a good schedule and still get everything done without killing myself. I feel like I've been able to juggle it fairly well, and I enjoy it, so I think that's why it's not a huge struggle for me. I don't find it super difficult because I love being a mom, and I love being a YouTuber, and I love being a wife, the little bit that I can be. So 3 things that I love. Yes, it's difficult because it keeps me hopping all the day, but I enjoy it, so I don't find it difficult. And then last question, I hope I've gotten them all, but K Vogt, V-O-G-T, I'm sorry if I butchered that. I assume that your friends are lucky and get the stuff that you decluttered. Also, I assume that your friends ask you for makeup advice. So the first one, yeah, my friends get the stuff I decluttered. Mainly they go to my sisters though. I have, you know, I've said this before, but I have 7 sisters. So, and then I have a sister, 2 sisters-in-law. So between all of them, I'm able to pass along a good bit of stuff and kind of diversify and even it out. And I really love being able to do that because growing up, especially in my early teens, I wanted to get into makeup, but I only had a very tiny budget, so I wasn't able to. So seeing my younger sisters growing up, especially those who are in their kind of later teens, I am so thankful that I'm able to like pass along this makeup to them so they're able to do their makeup and become more experienced with it without breaking the bank or, you know, spending money or not being able to buy makeup because they don't have the money. So I'm very thankful that I am able to bless them in that way, and it's like my big sister duty since I can't be there with them. I haven't been living by them for the past 5 years. It's the way I can, you know, I can connect with them. Little man is awake, so let's see. Also, I assume that your friends ask you for makeup advice. Yes, they do, and I always feel terrible because I don't like giving makeup advice because I'm not a makeup artist, but I do, to the best of my ability, try, and if they ever ask a question that I don't know or I'm not very good at, I always direct them to a YouTuber who is, you know, qualified or, you know, more of an expert in that area. So that was the last question. Perfect timing. As I said, I always have to be careful when I film this. This one went a little bit long, so hence why he's awake here at the end. But I hope you guys enjoyed it and found this just a little fun way of getting to know me more. Thank you guys to everyone who left me your questions on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. I had more than enough. This is going to be fun to edit down and try to get it into a short and concise video. But yeah, thank you so much. I had so much fun recording this, and I can't wait to see you guys very soon in my next video. Bye, guys.